Hello adventurers and welcome to the first of hopefully many unboxing videos brought to you by Kobold Press. My name is Kendo, whichever you prefer, and I have got the box. This box in particular comes from the recently fulfilled Kickstarter for campaign builder Dungeons Ruins. So let's get right into it and loot the box. Ooh, okay, so the first thing we have in here is, of course, the book itself. Look at that nice shiny, you can see all it reflecting off of all of my lights. Absolutely amazing. Bam, look at that. In case you're not already familiar with our campaign builder series, Cities and Towns, Dungeons and Ruins, and Castles and Crowns, this series is basically trying to give you, the GM, and also the players, the tools to enhance your campaign based on the specific themes of those books. So our Castles and Crowns was trying to give you all of the things that you needed to play, like high politics, diplomacy, get into some of the Regency stuff if that's what you're really into. You can get your noble titles, you can get your land, you can build castles and all of these forts, and as a GM it gives you the tools to be able to manage all of this stuff to begin with. And for players it gives you a host of character options, spells, and things of that nature to help you make your character more in tune with, you know, being able to do that stuff. So Campaign Builder Dungeons and Ruins is all of that, but for Dungeons and Ruins. It's trying to give you, the GM, the tools to be able to make better dungeons, make better ruins, be able to make traps, curses, hazards, map out dungeons, create dungeons that make your characters feel immersed in the world and help you tell the story that you're trying to tell. And then for players, there's new subclasses, spells, magic items, backgrounds, feats, all of that good stuff to be able to help make your character really good at going through Dungeons and Ruins. So in this book, you will find 15 sample curses, 17 hazards, and 12 all-new traps, or the tools to concoct your own, with a step-by-step guide to mayhem. For new player options, we have 6 new subclasses, 5 new heritages, 11 new talents, and more than 40 magic items, and more than 15 new spells for your team of dungeon delvers. And obviously all of this is Tales of the Valiant approved, which also means it's 5th edition compatible if you're still playing D&D 5e. I love our art. It's so good. We've got Elizon, I don't remember how to pronounce his name. We've got Elizon here, some other characters that I think we've seen in other bits. Oh, actually, I think that's the druid from the TOV book, if I'm remembering correctly. Ooh, and then we've got this other single art. So if you've watched the Kobold chats where I did a little bit of a read through the subclasses that were added to Dungeons and Ruins, which of course expands all of your character options for Tales of the Valiant or 5th edition if that's your jam. And that's the Ranger right there. I'm gonna try to hold this in a way so my light doesn't just, blind everyone, but hey, look. There's the Ranger. Obviously, the quality of the actual production quality of the book is pretty solid. There's no, there's no scratches, bends, or sometimes you get that in books, and I don't. Obviously, you want the spine to be nice. This came in really nice, bubble wrap packaging. Everything is nice and compact. Not a lot of movement to help, prevent some of that. The pages are, got that nice crisp new book page. And new book smell. Also, I love all of our art. I've said it before, and I'll continue to say it. There's something about actually seeing the art, there we go, printed in the books that makes it feel better than when it's just in a PDF. It looks great in a PDF, but seeing it on a printed page, again, I know that's just all white. That's just all white for you. Okay, so that's just the first thing in here. That's what the regular edition, the copy that most people are getting. It's nice. It's good, and I love the production quality of it. Okay, so the next thing that we have in here is the thing that I backed it for, the limited edition copy of Dungeons and Ruins. And just look at can you tell the detailing, the faux leather? I have to reveal it to the elements and let everyone see. I have to be so careful with these scissors. The last thing I want to do is damage the brand new book I just got. Just take off that plastic sleeve. Look at that. Oh, Oh yeah, with the plastic off, you can really, you can see the texture of the like kind of faux leather, and then just the detailing. Oh, this is gorgeous. This is actually my first limited edition Kobold Press book that I have. I kind of love it. Oh, the inside's different too. You get this kind of cool drag. Oh, you get basically like this cover on here. Ah, that's really nice. I like that. And of course, the production quality for this book is the same. It's the same. You just get a cooler cover, which makes it, you know, worth it, in my opinion. So good. Oh, wait, does this other one come with? No, it doesn't. I didn't even realize this. So the limited edition copies come with a nice little, like, bam, nice little bookmark. So you can remember exactly where you were. I didn't even know that was in here. This is so good. This is so good. Now, other things in here. But bam, we've got the map folio. And I'm going to need the scissors again. So inside of the map folio, what have we got here? The Campaign Builder Dungeons Ruins Map Folio offers up a beautiful compendium of maps for your tabletop battles. So we've got 12 beautiful full color battle maps, including a castle dungeon, necropolis, a volcanic lair, and so much more. So they are 24 by 36. They're double-sided, so there's a map on the front, map on the back, with 1-inch square grid for all of your, you know, grid-based combat. These are, specifically coded for use with wet, dry erase, or even permanent markers. I didn't know the permanent marker thing. That's actually really cool. And yeah, they wipe dry in a moment. That's really nice. I love these. I mean, let's open one up. Now, this is going to get really unwieldy very quickly because 24 by 36 is big. And now we just pull the plastic off as usual. Just nice little... Nice. I love for the map folios that there's basically like a little binder that keeps all of them in there. I've got the Castles and Crowns map folio. And so if I just had all these maps, I like keeping them, you know, in the little binder so I can know, hey, what are these maps again? Oh yeah, these are the Dungeons and Ruins maps, obviously. Got the little sleeve off and boom, we've got it. So let's just see. I'm only gonna take one of these out. But the question is which one, because there's 12 of them front and back. Ooh, this one looks fun. Let's do this. Might be a little dark, but we'll figure it out. Okay, so we're slowly, I'm gonna move my mic back before I accidentally do something terrible. So boom. Ooh, okay, this looks like some kind of tomb? Is this the necropolis? Oh no, there's an altar. There's an altar up here. So I'm guessing it's some kind of it's gotta be some kind of temple of sorts, but there's also caskets. Or like tables? Altars? No, there's like, yeah, no, there's coffins in here. Ooh, that's interesting. What's the back? Here's the back. Got a little, hold on. I gotta flip it over again. Oh no, those are those are bones. Those are the bone piles. I was looking at, I'm gonna fold this in a way that makes it actually easy for me to show you. I was looking at, oh gosh, that. I was looking at that. It's a bone pile. I was like, is that a weird flower? No, it's bones. So, okay, so yeah, so there are in total, it's 6 of these. Here we are. Front and back. And that gives you 12 maps in total that work. Man, I didn't know that they worked with permanent marker. That's so cool. I'm always losing my wet erase markers. And I never really have dry erase ones around. Just because I don't really have any other thing that uses dry erase. But knowing that any marker that I pick up will work for the map folio is pretty neat. And especially now that I'm in a new place closer to people playing with me, I'm definitely going to try to use this map folio because I miss playing in person. And there's actually, and like, I love theater of the mind. Don't get me wrong. I'm a theater of the mind GM. I also like a good map because it gives me a sense of what are the things that are in this space that I'm not just making up, you know? Because sometimes when we're imagining a place in our mind, the smaller details just kind of get kind of fuzzy and we kind of gloss over them because we don't see them as being all that important. And a lot of the times they aren't. But for tactical combat, sometimes you want to know exactly where a thing is, or the art will inspire you of like, oh, I didn't even think that this is a thing that could be there. Or your players would be moving around on the map and they see something on the map and they go, oh, can I do something with that? And then you go, yeah, sure, why not? And, you know, your combat's all the better for it. So that's pretty neat. We got the regular edition, we got the limited edition, and the map folio. And I will be making good use of all of them. So I was trying to figure out which of these chapters do I want to kind of peek into a little bit with all of you. And I figure what better one to start off with than Chapter 3, Dungeons and Ruins. So let's get into it. So everybody, this is Chapter 3, Dungeons and Ruins of Campaign Builder Dungeons and Ruins. Just purely based off of the title of the chapter here, I can only assume that this is where we start getting into the real meat and potatoes about how to build better Dungeons and Ruins. And first and foremost, this is my favorite art of all of the art in this book. Of all of like the half pages for the most part. Like this, or this isn't really half page. Is it a half page? Yeah, it's a half page. I was right. Just these three dwarves, the big door. It's like, oh, it feels epic and ominous at the same time. Because the question is, what's behind this big door? And it looks not very inviting. Can't get much more iconic than an ominous dungeon entrance, drenched in shadow. There's an inherent promise there of the unknown, of the mysteries hinted at it in local tales, and of peril. But there's also the hint of excitement and camaraderie, the secrets and treasures, and great renown for an adventuring party willing to brave its depths. This chapter provides a broad tool set for building dungeons and ruins, for manipulating their atmosphere and theme, and effectively weaving together encounters and other mechanical components with the narrative, and for ensuring consistency throughout the adventure. So there it is. Yeah. So chapter 3 starts building up those broader ideas of building out a dungeon and or ruin. So yeah. Oh, if I had read this also would have told me dwarves putting the finishing touches on their latest vault. You see, if anything, I hope that proves that I have not actually read ahead before Katie. So this is all actually me reacting to it. So here we go. What lies within? PCs explore dungeons to uncover secrets, defeat monsters, and find cool stuff. Untold treasure like ancient artifacts and forgotten knowledge. And usually, in the face of great peril, perhaps it's curiosity or perhaps it's greed that acts as the primary motivator, or perhaps it's the quest for glory or the lack of common sense. But into the subterranean realms of lost worlds and ancient terrors we go. There are many reasons adventurers are motivated to risk their lives while exploring the dark and dangerous unknown. Adventure, the lure of uncharted territories, appeals to those seeking the thrill of the unknown. These PCs delve for the challenge of facing insurmountable odds against deadly traps and deadlier monsters. They thrive on danger. Exploration. Some PCs revel in the excitement of discovery, driven by uncovering the long lost and the never seen. They obsess over documenting their discoveries of ancient artifacts and unknown flora and fauna, maybe even hoping that something is named after them, and charting new maps so they can share their exploits with others, sparking their wonder and imagination. And finally, intrigue and mystery. Dark corridors and concealed passages hide the secrets of those who came before. The temptation to unravel those ancient mysteries and uncover whatever else lies forgotten in history's wake calls to the imagination of some PCs. Lore and knowledge. The ruins of ancient and lost civilizations hold the collective knowledge of peoples long fallen from glory, but still with much to teach. Hidden within their libraries and locked within their vaults rest powerful runes, forbidden lore, names of celestials and fiends, the psychic memories of godlike elder beings, and who even knows what else. Power. Hand in hand with whatever lies hidden away is vast power and prestige for the PC willing and able to take it. These are the spaces where warriors and sages hone their skills, seeking those experiences that will make them more powerful. Quests. Sometimes a job is just a job. When a PC agrees to a quest that leads them into a dungeon, then into the dungeon they go. Perhaps it's to do with a sense of duty or obligation, or perhaps it's just to put food on the table. Whatever the reason, they feel as if they have no other choice. And finally, wealth. Piles of gold and gems, chests filled with treasures, ancient relics, and magical artifacts fuel the fire of mortal greed. And for some, a vast wealth and all that comes with are a reason enough. So here's a little design note here. It's your game. When opening a discussion on design, there's one thought that cannot be overstated. It's your game. It's your dungeon. So when designing for your own game, do what you think is fun and engaging. While not every choice will resonate with your audience, no one can tell you it's wrong. Many considerations go into designing a dungeon, and many factors determine how it will be received. So no perfectly balanced encounter or clever plot twist can guarantee that it hits its mark or that your efforts will feel validated. And that's okay. You built a thing, and you can appreciate that. And now you've learned a few things to make your next one even better. Ooh, okay. Love this. So, dungeon design. Dungeons are not one size fit all. This also says dungeon size, not dungeon design. Dungeon size. Dungeons are not one size fits all. Elements of an adventure, while there are countless possible directions to go, consider first the needs of the narrative and of the players. Perhaps several smaller dungeons fit the theme and adventure pacing better than one big one. Or perhaps the players are entranced by the idea of a massive, continuous dungeon crawl. This section presents considerations for the two extreme categories of dungeon size, the single-session dungeon and the mega dungeon, with the assumption that all others will fall somewhere in between. A single-session dungeon adventure typically consists of about 5 areas or rooms. These are designed to engage players with compelling and challenging experiences in just a single gaming session, lasting only a few hours. Introductory games, one-shots, convention events, and organized play frequently use single-session dungeons. It might also take the form of a flashback sequence to resolve past events and determine their effect on current affairs as part of another adventure or campaign. In this case, the players assume new PCs whose lives and actions are somehow related to their main PCs. Events in the one shot then enter the game world's historical record and influence events in the ongoing adventure. When designing a single-session dungeon, focus on efficiency to gain the most impact. Use a logical dungeon layout, a straightforward plot structure, brief descriptions, and NPCs with direct and predictable motivation. Presented here is a breakdown of the elements needed. Define a theme. Choose a thematic focus for the dungeon, whether it's a haunted crypt, a mysterious laboratory, or an abandoned temple. Early thematic elements will help set the adventure's tone and establish continuity, as long as it's used consistently throughout. Establish an objective. PCs should know and understand their objective before the game starts. This should be as simple and easily managed in just a single session. Snatch and grabs, bounty collections, heists, and other quick missions work best. Organization. Organize notes and maps in a logical order. A clear and straightforward layout allows the PCs to guide themselves through the dungeon smoothly. The narrative should then connect those various dungeon elements and unfold naturally from encounter to encounter. Pacing. When running a one-shot at a convention, game store, or similar situation, where time is limited, set up time constraints to manage the pacing. Plan the encounters to balance exploration, social, and combat using a mix of challenges, including traps and puzzles, and estimate how long each section should run. It's better to cut time from early encounters than to rush to the final encounter. And then pre-generated characters. One-shots and introductory games often use pre-generated PCs, which allows for seamless incorporation into the narrative and for coordinated character abilities. If experienced players prefer building their own PCs for one-shots, consider creating a few backstory options that tie to the adventure, such as a personal motivation, mysterious messages, the request of a mentor, or an urgent call for assistance. Whether pre-generated or not, PCs need a compelling hook that immediately draws them into the adventure. I like that this has also, this isn't just about the size of a dungeon or building a dungeon. This is also kind of a lot of help for GMs trying to run a session, right? Oh, you want a one shot? Hey, do this small dungeon. Here are the things you need. Keep track of pacing, pre-generated character I love the bit about the pre-generated character backstories, where it's hey, if you want to make your characters, that's all good, but I do need one person or a couple of people to be tied in this way or this way, and they can build characters around that. I really, really like that. And then the Ancient Crypt. So this is a sample outline for a single session dungeon. The Area 1. Entrance Hall. Dimly lit hall with ancient carvings. The objective, locate the sealed door that leads deeper into the crypt. Challenges, as PCs explore, maddening whispers lure the party forward to their doom. Okay, this is a great... I'm stopping right there. This is a great way to make outlines for a dungeon, I think. It's just okay, here's the area. This is what a brief sentence about the aesthetics and such, and then the objective, locate the sealed door that leads deeper into the crypt. The challenges, there are going to be maddening whispers. It's quick and easy for you as a GM to be able to reference and go, I know exactly what's happening here. If I'm ever losing track or I need to figure out what I should be honing in on, especially for the single session dungeon, boom, boom, the objective and the challenges. I like that a lot. Okay. Area 2, the Guardian's Chamber. The resting place of a mighty undead warrior who also serves as Guardian. The objective, retrieve a key from the Guardian. The challenge, battle the vicious undead Guardian. Simple, straight to the point. Area 3, the Puzzle Chamber. An intricately designed room with a strange puzzle trap. The objective, solve the puzzle to safely reveal a secret passage to the hidden tomb. The challenge, puzzle solving, and also the potential traps. Area 5, Hidden Tomb. A tomb where a forgotten hero has been laid to rest. The objective, the PCs must perform a ritual to respect the fallen hero's spirit. The challenges, the fallen hero's spirit guides the PCs by granting one of them a powerful vision, and that PC must struggle to keep from going mad from the knowledge. Ooh, like that. A lot of, and I there's a nice mixture here, right? There's a little bit of potential role play here. Do any of the PCs know about this hero? Have they heard tales from them? Is one of them a bard who's heard a story of them? Is one of them a knight or a knight to be, or a wannabe knight who might have heard stories, and maybe this is the person, this is a hero that is inspiring them to want to be a knight in the first place. There's so much here to work with. And then also the potential thing of going mad, right? Of getting this powerful vision. And this is also a really good place where if you wanted to let's say you're doing a one shot as a test game, and you get through it, so on and so forth, and you're well, this could be a larger game maybe if everyone wants to play. That vision right there is a great potential way to seed some oh, there's some other stuff going on in this world that could be a lot of fun for players. Area 5, the Sealed Vault. A heavily secured vault that contains the artifact that the PCs seek. Objective, the PCs must open the vault and then use skills to navigate the room to secure the artifact. Challenges, the structure starts to slowly collapse as soon as the vault door is open, and the PCs must race the clock to flee the dungeon with the artifact before being buried alive. Oh, this is so good. And then it starts talking about the mega dungeon and so much more. But that is where we are going to stop for today. Because, hey, if you want to know more, you should get the book. Alright, everybody, thank you so much for being here for the first unboxing video, which again, hopefully there will be more, because I've got another box over there that I will be opening, so I'm excited for you all to check that out. But for today, don't forget to go get Campaign Builder Dungeons and Ruins. Oh god. And if you can, get one of these limited edition copies, because I like it. I like the way it looks. It's very good. And you can go get either the regular edition or the limited edition or the map folio over on the Kobold Press store and DriveThruRPG. We will see you next time for the next box I have to open. And if you're new here, don't forget to go and subscribe down below so you can get updated anytime we have new videos coming out. We have a live show, Kobold Chats, every single Friday, where I talk about Kobold Press stuff. We talk about new releases. We talk about conventions that we're going to. I open up some of the books. I read the blog. I bring on people to do interviews, and it's a lot of fun. It's only about like an hour and some change, depending on how I feel that day, and you can either watch whenever it goes live every Friday at 2 p.m. Central Time, or you can watch it later. That's always an option. But whenever you do watch it, I hope you have a good time, because I had a good time doing it. And don't forget to go out, be bold, be brave, be valiant, and I will see you next time.